Hello, welcome back to the channel. As I promised, I showed you, I think it was on the 2nd of December, I showed you that we were going to play with this kit. So I'm giving you a quick look through. Everything is perforated, is cut out sort of thing. So it's a simple matter that you have to pop it out. You've got sort of the cover, as you can see here. So I've gone through and grabbed all the pieces which are clearly labeled. So you've got 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, that sort of thing. And the same with the second. So there's 2 journals in this, and you can see that they are all what's the word, not etched, sort of etched, embossed. They're already pre-scored, that would be the better word, pre-scored for you. Now, in the run of this video, I am going to fold this wrong. This panel here that I am playing with, the snowman, that is your front cover. Okay? Because I kept on going along with the fact that the bottom cover that you can see here is folded in my brain. You can see with the 2 scored lines there. And there's one more. So the snowman is scored, double scored, to give it a little bit extra depth to it. So just know that the snowman is the front cover, not what I keep doing all the time. I don't know what was going through my mind. Now I have glued these pieces down, and what you want to make sure you do is that the fold line is flush with the cut line that you're folding it up against. So you don't want anything overlapping anything else, only because it's going to make it hard to, I should say anything overlapping that score line, because it's going to make it hard to open and close this baby. Okay. Looking back, I think you could probably score that envelope a little bit differently. I reckon I've made it a sort of a top folding, but I'm not too sure. I have to look through the instructions and everything else. I think you could just do the smaller sides and not do what I'm doing here. So I think this should be your flap that you can open and close, and then you've got your little flaps here on the side that you would only partially have it glued down. You could do it either way. This is the way I chose to do that. If I had it done again, I'd probably do a little bit different. These are all the pieces cut out. Off camera, I'm going to go through and roughly divide these in half. Like there's 2 triangular pockets like this one here. There's 2 quite large pieces. So one's gone for the second journal, one's gone for the other one. Not everything is even, but I liked the ideas between the 2 colors and everything, so that's what I did. That is what I did. I decided to go through and put some walnut stains. So I'm using the cover of the pack to guard my background, but I'm going to also go through later on. You'll see that I put some of the walnut stain over this white because it's just a little bit too stark for what I was thinking. The blue piece, or the tealy piece in the middle, is from the Merry and Bright 6x6 paper pack. So this is out of the same collection, so they all go together. So you could use some of the papers for that, add more, add less. Heck, you could add more flaps to this, not a problem. And I have gone around all the little ephemera pieces with the walnut stain. So these elements here, which were very, very white, are now not so white. Do not do what I'm going to do here. I do like to show you everything I do to a point. Obviously, the boring bits we can cut out. I put 2 layers of foam. It's doubled up. It's already pre-cut just for something left over from another thing. Only do one, if that. because this pops out or doesn't close very flat, so it pops up a lot. Obviously, if you like that and don't care, you do you, boo. I'm just stating that I think I still had it in my head that this was going to be my front cover, and it's not my front cover because he folds the wrong way. But I'm letting you know, purely letting you. I will go through later on with all of these and put some Stardust stickers. I wanted to explain that now only because you don't see it too much. You see me putting it on, but you don't see me too much of playing with it. So I'm going to go through with the anywhere they're sort of dotty, like for the trees or snowy backgrounds, that sort of stuff is going to end up with some stickles, and I actually put it on these 2 dots next to my happy holidays. So the packs got everything. I mean, the only thing I really added is going to be the walnut stain, and I will come in with some cream seam binding or white seam binding. That's it. That's the only thing I added, and everything is pre-scored, and you can just have a lot of fun with dealing with it, putting it all together. And it's going to make a cute little Christmassy gift for that person. You know, we've always got them. We've got them. The ones that have everything, they might be a little bit crafty, and so they can put little knickknacks. I've got all my tags in there. You, of course, can make some more tags and add some more tags in, and that will be a really lovely gift. I used to give my grandmother Christmas cards and birthday cards. It used to be a pack for her, because of course once they start to, you know, you're getting a little bit older, you don't get out so much, so a nice little handmade gift of a pack of cards is really appreciated. So this could be do the same thing but with some tags in it for someone who's, you know, a little bit older and want something a little bit different, but may not have the mobility to go out to the shops and get that. Today is the 13th of December. It's my birthday yesterday. We went out to a local restaurant. There's a couple of downfalls with having December birthdays. I am not too close, which is really, really good. But there is so much going on at this time of the year. And, you know, there's Christmas parties and people are here, there and everywhere, and other people want to get together with you, which is lovely, don't get me wrong. But just get a little bit too crazy and restaurants get very, very busy. So we didn't go to the restaurant until about 7:30 at night. And for us, that's quite late. The kids, when my husband came home from work, we had dinner, which was about 6 o'clock. And I have at least 3 people in my household that are on the autism spectrum. So, you know, routine. I wanted this up a little bee's knees higher. So I cut out the center and we're going to trim all those little bits of frame off. And he's just going to stick out. I just need to trim the top off just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. And I'm going to do another similar one up the top, but I don't have to trim anything off with him. Of course, if you look, you can see that I've trimmed it up, but who's going to really... Someone might, but as long as it's, you know, I don't think it matters. That's me. I don't think it matters. I've also placed a couple of Christmas trees up there on the top, and you can see there they are with the walnut stain. This, especially with the walnut stain around the frames, just, I think, finishes it off. You know what I mean? Just finishes it off a little bit. So yeah, we went out for dinner. We had a lovely meal out with my 4 boys, as in my husband included, and one girlfriend. which was lovely. It was very, very nice. Today we have a Christmas party, I think, and then one of my sons and I have a Christmas catch-up party. They do it every year, but unfortunately it's never really a time that I can do it because, you know, yesterday was my birthday, so there was things to do with that. And then tomorrow I think we're meeting up with my parents for a little bit of birthday catch up with them before we go into the mad scene of Christmas. Next week is really busy, and then it just creeps up, and then it's always a bit crazy until like Christmas. Once Christmas is done, everything relaxes and it's like, okay, summer holiday, summer break. Am I the only person that feels like that? I don't think so, but I am not wishing my time away. I am enjoying it while I've got it, but there is something very nice when we can just relax and school holidays are on and spend a lot of time down the beach. And we do spend a lot of time down the beach, more so when the boys were little, but they love going down there still and jumping off the pier and all that sort of fun stuff. I've got this panel that I've left. I'm going to grab the circle that I've left. See, I folded it wrong. And I'm also going to grab this Merry Christmas that I stashed away for the second journal. It's all going to work out fine. And I will show you at the very, very end how much I actually have left over. And it's minuscule. It really is. Even this piece I'm going to cut off here, I'm going to use it on the second journal. And hopefully I will, by the time we get around to having a look at that second journal, I will point that out of where I've put that. Because the second journal is put together exactly the same, except you're not going to see it. And it's decorated differently, obviously, because you've got different elements. As I said, some things you've got two big on the right hand side here where we've got the tags, you've got the little fairy angel, whatever she is, and the other one is a blue tag shape thing. So here's the two journals, again folded wrong. There we go, we figured it out. And I'll go through quickly, and this is all I've got left. That is literally it. There is nothing more. So this is the first one I've done that I showed you on camera with my little tags tucked away. And then we have the second one. So the same sort of deal. So you've got, where did I stash that other circle bit? I can't remember now. It's in there somewhere. Trust me, I did. That is it for me today. I hope you're well, happy with your little bonus video for the week. I will talk to you very, very soon. I'll leave all the information down below. See you later. Bye.